Hiya, today I'll be showing you how to make bracelets into this one. It's decorated using cross stitch. It's if you do cross stitch, it's quite simple. It's quite bendy, so it can slip over your wrist quite easily. I'm using plastic canvas to make this. This is one with quite small holes. It's 14 count, so that's 14 stitches for every inch. And just so you can see how tiny the holes actually are, this is a needle. You can see it just about fits through there. Okay, so what you need to do is to map out the pattern you want on your bracelet. This bracelet's about 8 inches long and it's got about 108 stitches across, so you can work out a pattern by that. And with this, I've already marked out the outline of the pattern using a felt tip pen. It does wipe off, so if you can see it through the stitches, you can easily wipe it off, but you shouldn't be able to see it. So just fill that in with the cross stitch. I've got another video of showing you that, so I'll cut it out. I'll put a link in the description for you and on the screen somewhere. And all we're going to do is just using cross stitch again, just attach the two ends together. Okay, so what you need to do is just get more thread, and you want to start from the back, put your needle from the second from top hole, and then put it back through the actual top hole. So it just makes a little stitch. You don't really want to see that stitch. And then just tie these two ends together just to secure the thread in place. So just 1 or 2 knots will do. And then we can start connecting the ends. Okay, so now we need the thread back to the front, so you go back through that top hole. And then we're going to grab the other end of the bracelet. Okay, so you just have to line them up so the holes are right next to each other. And you're just going to go straight through the top hole of the other end, like that, so it's just a straight stitch across. You want to pull it fairly tight, and then you want to bring it up through the top hole of the first end that you had. Okay, and then this little thread here at the end, the little tail bit, you want to just hold it in the middle of the two ends, and then you can stitch that in behind the stitches. That probably didn't make sense at all. Okay, so now we're just going to do a basic cross stitch pattern all the way down this edge just to keep them in place. And you want to try and get your thumb and fingers comfortable for this, hold them together because you're going to be holding them for a while. And you've got to hold them really tightly because you want the stitches to be nice and tight, otherwise it doesn't form a perfect circle shape. Okay, so like I say, just do the normal cross stitches down this edge, hiding the little tail bit of the thread as you're doing it. Okay, so just do this the whole way down. Remember to keep it nice and tight. Okay, and then this is what you end up with. You can just leave it like this. Oh yeah, sorry. Tell you how to tie it off. Getting ahead of myself there, sorry. So you basically just get the needle and thread it underneath one of the stitches, one of the last stitches you just done, and pull it through. Then you end up with a little hoop because you don't pull it all the way through. Then you just thread the thread sorry, through that hoop, and then pull it tight, and then you've got a knot. So then you get the needle again, and this time you thread it under about 2 or 3 of the stitches, and then you just pull it straight through and trim off the thread that's left over. Yay, now we're finished. Okay, so you can leave it like this with the plastic around the top, or you can cover that in more thread. And to do that, all you have to do is obviously more thread on a needle, go through one hole from the back to the front, and then go back through the other way so you end up at the back again, and just tie a simple knot again at the back. Now this time, because we're going along the top, you're going to want to hold that little end bit of thread along the top so you can hide it in the stitches at the top. So just hold that along the top edge in place, so when you do the stitches, that's hidden underneath. Okay, so now the thread's coming from the back, you're just going to take the needle round to the front and put it through the next hole, and then that will create a stitch over the top, and this will cover the edges. So again, the thread will end up coming from the back, then you put it straight round to the front again. So as you can see, it covers up the edge. Then you just do this simple stitch all the way round, then just tie it off like you did tie the last bit off. This can get a bit fiddly the more obviously yarn you have through the holes, and literally this is what you end up with. So have fun making your own. I'd love to see your designs. If you want this exact design and you want the pattern for it, just let me know and I'll put a picture of it on my website for you to copy. So have fun making your own and happy crafting. Thank you. Bye.